I want to go back to something you just said. Denise, can you speak to and Todd as well, just like what you guys see clinically in terms of how common it is for denial and for people experiencing that? Because Denise, you talked extensively about that, and I think it's an important part of the conversation. It's like, I didn't see it happen, or I wasn't there, I don't know a victim. I think those conversations are really important to have because those are common head in the sand techniques and also avoidance. So if some of the experts could speak to that, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I'll also throw something in here before they talk. There is no upside to a survivor coming forward in this environment. Zero. So the workers like to use the narrative. I mean, I've heard it a lot lately that most of these allegations are false. They're not. Todd and I have identified one so far that we have an issue with out of 800 and about 840 right now. So they're not false, and there is zero upside to a survivor coming forward in this environment. So go ahead, you guys.
Okay.
Can I just,
go ahead, Todd.
hey, Denise, I know you'll have a much more detailed answer than I can, but I'll just tell you this, just from a law enforcement standpoint. Perpetrators do not admit that they've committed a crime. It isn't done. And further, when the workers talk to workers only have the perpetrator to talk to. They don't and they shouldn't talk to the victim. But they do, and they do talk to the perpetrator side of the equation. And the perpetrator tells them it was a mistake, it didn't happen, all their typical deflection and minimization and all of the different avenues of denial. But when law enforcement talks to someone who's going to be charged criminally, we've exhausted all law enforcement tools. We come prepared to an offender, to somebody who's going to be charged with a crime. We come to that interview with all of the information that can possibly be gathered, with all of the tool set available to law enforcement, from search warrants to computer forensic exams to witnesses to everything. And so we can quash and get in the way of their denials. But when the workers or anyone else talks to an offender, they don't have those tools. The only thing that they can do is sit there and nod their heads with their mouth agape and say, oh, it must have been a misunderstanding. Absolutely the most irresponsible way to talk to an offender. And so the fact that the workers listen to those stories with no concern with details of, I mean, they should never be talking. They should just, it's credible allegation and you're out of meetings. That should be the standard. Unfortunately, it's not. And Denise, I'm sorry to get in the way of your answer. Anyway, go ahead.